Good afternoon and welcome to the BrainTrust of the RTP, where we specialize in bringing together experts to help dispel some of the confusion that's out there about real estate and what's really happening in the market. Today, we're going to talk about pricing. That's our hot topic of the day. Brent, tell me what your thoughts are on pricing the home to sell for the most amount.
I've been a realtor for a long time. I started back in 1997. This is the very first question that people give me. And I also send people monthly updates once a month on pricing. I'll often find that the monthly updates that I get are not exactly true. You can actually get more for your money than what the monthly updates do because you have special features, you have special updates, and you have other things. Beyond that, you have special goals and strategies. Some might be, hey, I want to get the very highest possible price. Some might say, hey, I just want to move right away. All those things are special. Every neighborhood is different. It is one of my greatest things is to look out and see how high we can possibly get and squeeze out the best profits or proceeds for the seller.
That's I think everybody's cool. So, there's two different strategies that they talk about is pricing it too low or, to bring in the highest number of people, or price it high so that people know where the expectations of the seller are. So what's your strategy for pricing too low?
Everybody's got a different strategy or plan. But if I talk to my seller and they say, hey, look, I want a multiple offer scenario. I want the market to talk to us. And I want to price it on a low margin and see how many offers I can get all at the same time. If I've got two offers, I get great return on price as far as also on other conditions like your due diligence, your deposit, your non-refundable deposit. And so that really helps things out. So there are some times when I say, hey, look, let's put this thing into a situation where we get two offers as opposed to one and generate a very high contract price as opposed to list price.
Yeah, I've seen that happen multiple times where you price it a little bit lower, you get more people in the door. The more people you get in the door, and of course, the more emotionally charged people become, and they'll pay a little bit more.
Absolutely. Like, let's let the showings go wild. Let's get everybody in the property all at the same time. Let's get the demand high, the anxiety high on the buyer side. Let's get a number of offers together to review.
Yeah, that sounds like a great strategy. But what about pricing it higher so that people know the expectation of the seller? How do you feel about that?
Well, those are all possibilities. It all depends on the neighborhood, school district, the walkability, special features in the property. If all those things meet a high demand, a high return, then we can price it really high. And it all depends on the property, all depends on lot size, square footage, those kind of things, overall marketability of the property. But absolutely, we can always price it to the limits.
Okay, so let me give you an example of what I've experienced in pricing it too low versus pricing it too high. So I was in this neighborhood where the seller was actually, he worked for Toll Brothers and was a finish carpenter. Imagine how awesome his house was on the inside, because when it comes to condition, his house was off the charts. Wonderful. So he said, listen, I want to get $650 for my house. I have all these trim work throughout the house. I've got accent walls galore, and I've added this beautiful raw fire pit that could steam, it could smoke, it could do everything. I honestly cook more outside than I do inside. He goes that this is such a tremendous asset, and it's set right on the back porch, right? And I'm like, well, you're right. That does add additional value to what anybody else in the neighborhood has. And I said, so let's think about this. The highest any house had sold in that market was $570, and he wanted to get $650. He says, well, Patty, let's price it at $650 because I know that I can sell it at $650, and that's what my house is worth. And I said, okay, on my recommendation, $610. Let's go, somewhere in the middle. And he said, no, $650. That's what I want. I want the buyers all know exactly what I want for that house. And so we put it on the market at $650, and we heard crickets. Nobody wanted to come in and see the house because the price was so much higher than the average in that neighborhood. They were scared off by it. So after a week, he comes back, and I give the guy credit. He was actually very nimble and knew the longer you sit on the market, the less valuable your home becomes. So after 1 week, he says, come on. He goes, I understand. I probably overpriced it. Let's take it down to $630 and see what happens there. And after $630, we got a couple of showings, but nobody put in an offer because they didn't feel the excitement around the house. So finally, he comes back to me the following week and he says, okay, Patty, I'm going to try your strategy at $610. He goes, just know I am very disappointed at this point because I really wanted $650 for my home. I said, don't worry, we've got this. So we put it on the market at $610. And of course, we get 13 showings. Everybody that walked in the door loved it. They thought it was gorgeous. Everybody wanted to be a part part of it. And of course, we get in a bidding war. Next thing you know, we sold it for $650. So let me say, this is just one example. If you price it too high and you scare people off, doesn't necessarily do you the best as pricing it in the middle and allowing people to get in the door and want to see the house, and then let the house sell itself at that point. So, once people get emotionally charged about it, the market always determines the value of the home. The more market you get in the house, guess what? The more value you're going to get if it's the perfect house.
That's a good story. And, evidently he agreed to the price on contract, is happy to move away. Always listen to your realtor when it comes to price, for sure. At the Compass office, we look into the value of your property, and we actually make a book, and it has all the marketability as far as what kind of special features you have in there and how it compares with other properties. It has a lot of different details. This is kind of what we do here in our office on a daily basis. If you ever need an update on the value of your property and what you have there, contact us. We'd be more than happy to put something like this together. And it's just for your information. It's always great to understand the value of your property.
Exactly. And, ultimately, as a realtor and a seller, it has to be a team effort. It's never any one's decision. It's, people working together to bring the best possible light to a beautiful home. So thank you so much for joining us today at the BrainTrust of the RTP. And I hope you come back and see us again. Our goal every week is to bring in some experts, bring some expert insights on what's happening in the market. Coming up next, we're going to talk about how to pick that perfect realtor. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave us a message below or call us at 919-602-0612. If you have questions, you can text me anytime. We want to talk about what you want to hear about. So give us a call. Let us know what you're thinking, what you're wondering, and let us help you out. Hope you're having a great day.
Thanks, guys.